And just quickly let me know if my mic is okay, that you guys are hearing it, and we're not hearing it out of the phone and we're hearing it out of the mic. If you could do so, that would be much appreciated. So let me pop this right here. All right, hopefully that's good. We might not have, let me pop open chat so I can see. This is absolutely nuts. I am gonna talk about something that I honestly did not think is real. I still don't think is real. Gemcat and others, can you just verify that you guys can hear me well? Otherwise, I'll turn off my car and make this mic work. Okay, so I want to go over a few things. We're going to talk about, obviously, gold is insane right now. It's up to $5,000, but that's not the main thing. I almost didn't believe this. This came from Maud Ilea. Ilea's always spotting really, really just insane stuff. She's also the one who pointed out, like said, hey, look at gold today. We've watched this. We've covered gold for, quite a while. It's up 80. I'm sorry, no. Gold is up 88% for this year. Okay, just a little bit over a year ago, it was at a little over 2,000. Now it is about $30 or $40 away from 5,000. If you don't know what that means that the world is drastically buying gold right now like there's no tomorrow. I mean, literally like there's no tomorrow. Like there is something big that's about to hit. World leaders are, of course, batting heads right now. We've got Maduro in custody. We have Iran falling apart. We have all of these other things. But get this. Obviously, the internet has been on fire about this, this crazy potential theory of something happening on August 12th. If you did not know about this, there is a side theory that there is some sort of cover-up for some sort of event that happens on August 12th where basically everything starts floating for a matter of seconds, and they said that it's a cataclysmic event on Earth, whatever else. Not saying that I believe that, but it is pretty crazy that there are all of these events happening. We are lining up Greenland, of course. We are lining up the ownership of Greenland, or at least the control of Greenland. That is what was just talked about yesterday. And this is so odd. So if you guys have followed my channel for a while, you remember the Sunspot Observatory. So Sunspot Observatory, if you do not remember, I'll just do a quick recollection of what happened there. And it was in this timeline of, like, as it went on, the different articles about it kind of changed and altered. And now I don't know what Google says about it. I don't know what you can actually find about it. But when you live through it, when Sunspot Observatory first closed down, before we knew any information, essentially neighbors said that Black Hawk helicopters came in, that men came in, they closed down the post office next to it, they closed down the trails, they evacuated houses, and they did this for over a week and a half, or whatever else. Other streamers went there, actually did drone shots. They were trying to walk around and see what was going on. People thought, what the heck is going on here? Now, the story they ended up telling us is that there was a gentleman there that was running some sort of ring on his computer that was hooked up through the system. And mind you, this Sunspot Observatory was hooked up through this like online server system that was connected to, I don't know if that was government run at the time or if it's privately run, but with all of these other observatories. But essentially they said that he had pictures of things that he shouldn't have. Now, you guys all know what I'm talking about. I don't even like talking about that kind of stuff, but many people did not believe it. Essentially, after about a week and a half, 2 weeks, they come up and they say that this, I don't even think he was an observatory guy, like he was a janitor or something. I'm paraphrasing, but one thing is for sure, somebody who worked there had this stuff on the computer, and they had to shut down, evacuate, bring in Black Hawk helicopters, which was witnessed by neighbors, evacuate it, and then close down the post office that was right next to it for days on end. Now, that didn't make sense. Now, if you look at it from a different angle, like what if somebody at Sunspot Observatory found something, the US government, like every single like end of the world movie, what if they spotted an asteroid heading towards Earth? And what if the gentleman who spotted it, they immediately caught it, it went through the government system, some system flagged it, and this is what a lot of people, including myself, think could have happened, flagged it, and then immediately went and shut down the neighborhood, went door to door asking questions about the gentleman, went to the post office, closed it so no information could get out if he tried to send a tape or a hard drive or a thumb drive to somebody, that they immediately closed down to make sure that this information didn't get out. Now, this is just hypothetical, right? This closed down, and it closed down in the weirdest way possible. It lit the internet on fire. Everybody was talking about Sunspot Observatory. Now, why this has something to do with today? And again, we have tried to verify this. In fact, Grok and Google, both the AIs couldn't figure out if this was legit. It looks like the legit Instagram for the observatory and Google saying that they are temporarily closed. And this is what the AI does say, that they temporarily closed just now because they had liquid mercury on a platform and they were doing regular maintenance and they closed it, but they also closed the hiking trails near it. There is an actual post, right? I'll show you this. Let's see here. I wonder if this is, yeah. There is a post. Let me see if I can actually show you this post. An Instagram post from them saying that they are temporarily closed, that the actual hiking trails are closed around it. And when we find out what the story is, because they don't say that story on the actual Instagram post, which looks to be the legit Solar Spot Observatory Instagram, Google says that they're closed for temporary maintenance to the public because of liquid mercury on a platform. Now, the first time, that was crazy, right? And they came up with, oh, this guy had, pictures or whatever. But a second time being closed down because of something, and now they're saying it's liquid mercury and that citizens shouldn't be concerned. It has no concerns to the public. And they're closed to any visitors, any of the tourist center, whatever, all of that's closed. But why the hiking trails? That's what I don't understand. Why close the hiking trails? Maybe because it's all part of the private property? I don't know. But that seems odd to close down the hiking trails if you're just doing maintenance, right? Now, maybe it's because of the liquid mercury aspect, but this same exact solar observatory shuts down again? Like, I'm sorry, that's freaking weird. Mind you, this is only because of the previous story. So if you haven't heard about this, let me know why. Like, why haven't people talked about this, especially when this was such a giant deal not too long ago, quite a few years ago, actually. It's crazy how fast time flies. Why did it close down? Think about those previous stories and then think about this one. Now, this is just my crazy, wild mind here. So again, totally sounds crazy to some. I understand that. But with all of the other events, all of the other weird things that are going on, the rumors of some sort of cataclysmic event happening, even if you remember, Joe Rogan on New Year's Eve, on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, actually had a specialist that was some guy who was into magnetic fields on, talking about the MIT professor that just got taken out. And Rogan himself has said, wouldn't it be crazy if this guy was offed because he was trying to warn people about something happening with our poles, like a pole shift? That was wild to me that this is all around. And then, of course, I told you guys in the last couple of weeks, we covered that the gentleman in Africa that is telling people to sell all their belongings and to build arks because a flood is coming. Now, I know this is just totally nutso, but there's got to be something in the back of most people's heads that say, like, what if? There's been so much predictive programming in so many different ways in sci-fi and in films, and you look at some of the stuff they've put out and you go, oh, that sounded crazy when it came out. But 10, 15 years later, all of a sudden that's reality. Minority Report sounded like, that sounded like something they would never do. Well, we just covered last night, that's exactly what they're doing. Having Ring doorbell cameras that are hooked up to ice, that was a crazy thing. But of course, we called that with the patents years ago, right? So a lot of these things that are put out by sci-fi, if the people can imagine it, then it's most likely because there's something there that could actually happen. Obviously, I don't know if there could be an asteroid heading our way. There could be some sort of secret thing that's going on. There could be a war coming. There could be a million reasons. But with gold, with the acquisition of Greenland, with the Golden Dome, Which, mind you, what if the Golden Dome is actually to knock stuff out of the frickin' sky? With the laser systems, with Starlink setting up a grid around our planet, with 1 out of 3 Starlink devices actually having hypersonic speed detection, is that for missiles, or is that for, is that for something else? With New York doing asteroid, PSAs, like they did a freaking asteroid drill. I don't know. Something doesn't sit right about it. And maybe it's a big distraction. Maybe that is set up as a seed in the back of our head. So later on, we think something crazy. I don't know. I'm almost home though. We're going to be doing our full show. We'll talk about this. I'll show you the Instagram post on the Marfoogle TV show. If you're going to join us, again, it will be in just a few minutes. I'm just about 15 minutes away from home. We already have all of the stuff set up for it. So we'll get on in about half an hour. So join us over there, over on Marfoogle TV. Make sure to share this far and wide if you can. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate your mods. Drop an M in the chat, and thank you guys. Be safe, be prepared, and Marf out. As always, there is going to be a full bibliography of every single article, tweet, video, picture, document on the website, linked down below. You can also find all of our channels there. So thank you, and have a good night. Be safe, be prepared. Marf out.